Salut coders, welcome to another YouTube tutorial. This is the first tutorial when you start to building our chat application. We are going to create a chat application like the one that you are seeing on the screen, this one. And here we enter our phone number and go through the application development. So in this tutorial, we are going to set up the environment. Let's add by adding dependencies and creating a new Flutter project. Let's get started. So here you can create file. You can open an IntelliJ and then click File, New Project. Here on the list of projects here, you have to select Flutter and your Flutter SDK. For me, I want to use this one. This is Flutter 3. By this day, I'm using Flutter 3. So you click Next, and then the name of the project, we call it a Chat with Bisq. Then it's going to be a Swift and a Java. I'm familiar with Java. I want to develop this for these three platforms: Android, iOS, and web. Here, com on the organization. I will choose com chat with Bisq. Keep in mind with your package here, will show you when you are adding it on upright. Then these three, okay, then you click create. So this is our project. Here, this is the YAML file where we add our dependencies. So let's test this if it's running. So we are running it on iOS emulator. It will take a bit of time. Yeah, you can see our application is running correctly. Oh, that's great. So let's delete some of the things in the YAML file. This list, it will be confusing. Let's remove this. Just remove this. It's not necessary. Okay, so we are going to add some of the dependencies that we are going to use on our application development. Maybe I can walk through the structure that we have here. We have lib here. This is the main, the Flutter demo, and this is the main method, the starting, the entry of the application. So it will run and open this my app. After this, material app. So that's why you're seeing the material design. And this is the home page. And with the code to increase counter. And this is the fab, the floating action bar button. So let's get this dependent because we modify something here. So just ignore, it won't affect anything. So there are few dependents that we want to add. And these dependencies are the most common dependencies that are used by big organizations. So I took my time to look into these dependencies and did some research on how to use these dependencies. So let's get started with the first one, which is so to add a dependency, go to your pubspec YAML, and here on the list of dev dependencies, we add our dependencies here, but this for development, and for our application, usually we add these dependencies here. Here we will add some of the dependencies that we used to generate during the development process to generate some of the things. I will show you on future videos. So the first dependent that we want to add is Flutter block. So let me add the Flutter block dependence. We just type Flutter block, and we are going to use version 8.13. So for what is what's the purpose of these dependencies? We are going to implement our project using state management. So we are going to use the block pattern. So that's why I'm using this Flutter block. So I will walk through how to set up the block pattern. But for now, let's add this dependency. And the next dependency is a quiver. This one, and we need the version 3.2.1. I'm using the latest dependencies. If you check these dependencies on Flutter dependency pubdev. So this one is a utility. It's a utility dependencies that we are going to use, especially for other strings, like to check is empty. It has more functionality. So it's a add-on to our Dart code. And then another dependence that we are going to use is Kiwi. So for Kiwi, we are going to use the dependency 4.1.0. So the purpose of this dependence is for dependency injection. Yes, dependency injection is there in Flutter. So I will show you how to use dependency injection with Flutter. So another dependency is also JSON serializable. This one. And we are going to use version 6.70, 6.7.0. So the purpose of this dependence is we want to convert our modules to JSON, and by adding annotation. So it will easier for converting our Dart class to a JSON, or from JSON to our class. So that's why we are going to use this dependency. We need it. Then we also have JSON annotation. So we are going to use version 4.8.1. So for this annotation, we are going to, it works with the JSON serializable. We are annotate our classings to say this class we are going to generate to JSON file to JSON method. But I will show you how it works. But we are using to annotate to a class. And also another dependency that we are using is the block also. It will work also with the Flutter block. And we are using version 8.1.2. And also another one dependence that we are going to use is shared preferences. In iOS, we use the end user defaults, and in Android you use shared preference, so that the dependence that we are using to save to our local file. And also we have to use auto route. We're navigating from one page to another page. from one screen to another screen, we can use this auto route. It's easy and quick. I'm using these dependencies because they increase our development time. So by using this, we just add annotation and it generates automatically the navigation routes, and it is easy to implement. Then another dependence is phone number dependence, easy to use. That's why I chose this library. And also they use they use code from Google Leaps phone number. And also I showed some introduction screen. So for the introduction screen, we are going to use this library for introduction screen. And also we are going to use for our pop-up alert dialog, we are going to use this dependence Flutter alert. It will show a nice pop-up in case of an error or a success. Not forgetting this dependence. Wow, devs. This one, upright. We are using 9.0.0 to connect to our backend service. Then for OTP, we are going to use this dependence to have a beautiful OTP design. So we don't have to take time developing the OTP. And then if you want to view an image as an SVG, there are PNG, JPG. If you want to display your widget as a SVG, we use Flutter SVG. That's why I added this dependence, Flutter SVG. And also we want to read the contacts, users that are on our application, that downloaded our applications. Since our login, we use a phone number. So we want to check if someone is also on the chat so that you can send them a message, your loved ones. So that's why we are using this contact service to read your phone contacts. And we also need a permission handler. So the purpose of this dependency is to check permissions if user enabled permission for reading contacts, for maps, for picking an image. So we are going to use this dependence. And also we are going to use this one, the UUID. When generating our unique IDs, when sending message on Upright, we are going to use this UUID. Each time when you create a new message, each message can have a unique identifier. Then on dev dependencies, we want to add few dependencies to generate our code, like everything that we annotated. We must add these dependents. We have auto route generator, and also this one, build runner. So these are the dependents that we are going to use. Let me delete this. So for setup, we are going to use these common dependencies, and they are up to date by the day of making this video. And these are the latest dependencies. Make sure you use latest dependencies when you are developing your application, so that you stay up to date and it's easy to update. And make sure each and every time you keep on updating your dependencies for any new features and for vulnerabilities. People are also working to resolve some of the vulnerabilities that can affect your application. So these are the dependencies that we are going to add. So let's test this application. Let's do pub-get and make sure all dependencies are working. You see, these dependencies are working. Let's try to rerun the application and see if you don't have any issues. I stop it and run it again. So all dependencies that we are added are working fine. So let's do some quick of modification here. We can go to here. Let's delete this code so that it will be easier. So we want to, for today, let's just create a basic routing for our project. So I will teach you how to add a routing, and we don't want to see this page. So here we have to add a new a directory called route. That's where we put our routes. After adding this package, we want to use this dependency, the auto route dependency. So by adding that, let's add this app route and create a class called app route. It will be that. App router. So the class will be class app router extends, just add a dollar. So it will generate, and when we run our command, it will generate some of the routes. So by doing this, let's create a list of routes. Or we need to import the package. We need to import this package, this dependence, and also here we can say add auto route config. It auto route config. Then we just type replace in route. Then let's use some single quotes, screen and route. Just add this. We'll configure this on our main.dat class, and we want to override. There's something that you must override, which is the routes. List of auto route get routes. Then it will be an array with a list of routes that you are going to use. And don't forget to add to import. We have to import the app router. We have to import just import this, the name of your class. Make sure you put the name of your class. It will be auto-generated gr.dat. Yeah, it will be auto-generated, this one. So let's do this on our main class. We want this class to be our initial class. So we need to annotate this one with a route. So let's do it. Let's do that. Doing that, just add a route page. It's going to be a route page. So let's run this. So before we run this, we want to generate this one. So when you generate, we have to run this command which is Flutter packages pub run build runner build. Then it will generate the everything that we annotated. So let's try to run this one. It's now generating. Okay, you can see after running this command, this file was generated, and you can see we have my home page, which is, let's go to my home page. Where is this thing? So this is going to be our home page, this one. So if you want to route to this page, all the routing are going to be here and no errors now. So this home page we're going to be our initial screen. So let's do that. Let's try to add that. This is a list of auto routes. So our first auto route will be, then you put a comma and then the name of a page, and what's the name of the route here? We just scroll down and the name of a route is this one. You see, this is the name of a route, the generated route. So you can use this one. Then you type page. Then for initial, you just say initial, you just say true. So this is going to be our initial page. So how do you configure this? We have to go to our main method, and we are going to change the implementation of routing that is in here. So let me show you. So here on material app, we have to change here to route material app dot router. Then here we configure our route config. We are now going to use our route config, which is our app router. So here we have to declare our app router final app router, the name of the router, which is here. So let's move this constant, and let's move here. It's not there. Then here we just put the app router. Then .config, because it's a config like this. So by doing this, we are now able to use our app router. So this is the config we annotated here with it config, and this is the configurations, and this one is going to be our, let's add an override method. This is going to be our initial route. So when we run this application, it will also come here. So let's stop this one. Okay, we have an issue here. We have to remove this. Let's run it again. Here we have an issue here where we have, and now because of corresponding required, for our initial, let's remove this title. We'll go deep into the application and see, and that's why we're having an exception here, because it was now we are not sending the So here you just type anything chat with Busy. I will show you how to pass parameters. So let's regenerate again, because you see there's an issue here. Let's regenerate. And let's stop and run the application again. And see if you are going to have any error. Yeah, we are back and we are using auto route here. Let's fix this error. I think it's a constant thing. Let's remove this. Yeah. So on this tutorial, I showed you how to use auto route. So we are going to use this dependency when routing from one page to another, and we are going to clean up this code, and it's not necessary. Let me delete this code. This is going to be our initial code, and we don't need this floating. Let's delete it. Yeah. So this is going to be our initial screen, our splash screen, and this one. We are not using this. We are going to use a state management. So we leave it like this, and so here I'm going to add some of the tools that I mostly use when developing. So you can clone the project and add this onto your project. So there are widgets that I usually use. I will put them in another directory. Or let me delete this and copy this. Please clone my project or fork it, and then copy these packages, so that when we are developing, we are going to use these ones. So make sure you add these directories on your project, the constant one, the values, and the widgets. These are the widgets that we are going to use in this button, and also some of the values, including the colors, decoration, gradients, images, and shadow sizes, all the size that you are going to use, the list of styles that you are going to use on application development. So that's all from this video, coders. I hope you like this video. May you kindly subscribe if you are new to this channel, and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we upload a video. We upload video each and every twice or thrice a week. So may you kindly subscribe and have a great journey together on developing this chat application using Upright. And I showed you how to use auto route. This is the first dependence that I showed you how to use it, and you are now able to generate the routes using through commands. So in next video we are going to start to look I'm going to show you how to set up the dependency injection, and also starting our first screens on introduction screens, then go to the login page. Salut coders.